Alright, it's 2 a.m. Let's see how long this takes. Thank you, Sonic, for 133 goddamn races. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Dream Crasher, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 races. That's respectable. Captain Spock sent me 1. Undercover sent me 2, and Tony the Raccoon, you sent me 1. So 133 races from Sonic. I have no room to talk. I have sent out quite a few myself that I need to check. So, let's get this going, shall we? First off, let me refill. This is going to become a nightmare. I can't see chat, so I don't know if anybody's going to be even chatting with me. I'll have to switch back and forth every so often. I'll make a post on the Discord. I'll say I'm streaming. Why not? Hold on. Oh boy. Hold on, what's the link for this? I don't even know what the link is for my own stream. Boy. Hold on. I'll start him in a second. Let me, get my link here for the race. There we go. Alright, let's get racing. Boogity, 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 let's go racing. Let's see what we can do here. Am I still on the leaderboard? Let me check that real quick. Because I know that was Sonic's goal, was to LB the damn car. RX-8. I am number 3 on the leaderboard. He got 7.500. He couldn't break the 7.4s, but goddamn could he get a 7.5. I'm number 3 at 7.503. Alright. Alright, let's do this. Let's Leroy Jenkins this shit. I'm going to start with the Dreamer Crasher races, because he's a good guy. I want to see that 7.4. I don't know if he sent the race to me with the 7.4 in it. But, I am running my 7.503 ratios, so let's see what happens. Let's see how long it takes to get through 144 races in this stupid game. Wow. That's a good way to start. Come up as a draw. Jesus Christ, that is the highest number for loading I've ever seen. I feel bad for Sonic having to go through all of these on the results screen once I'm done. Not really. Alright. Something that's happened while racing this car a couple times, I've leaderboarded it to number 1, like, twice while fouling, and that really pisses you off when that happens, trust me. I'm going to be slightly modifying my ratios this entire stream as well, just to try to really get it going. I need to figure out what gears are too long. Like, I feel like this gear's too long. This gear's not long enough. I'm going to do 2.5. This should be 2.02. I'm not willing to modify my final drive. Just not at all willing. I don't really have a process when it comes to making my ratios. I just sort of drive. I just sort of guess numbers, put them in, test it, run like 5 races. I think I short shifted every single gear that time. One of those gears is way too short. I don't remember. I don't know which one. I don't know which gear it was that short, though. I saw it. That is the second time we've tied, and that's just because I suck at reaction time. I have 140 some races to go. I'm going to call this the gauntlet. I think I'm going to leave you guys a goal of always trying to send me more races than the last stream. So if you get me these numbers of races anytime, like now you guys have to beat 144. So is that my third draw? You guys have to beat 144 and I'll stream again. Let me check this. Let me check. Nobody chatting. Rip my social life. I'm talking to myself. I should turn on some music or something at least. I don't have any playlists set up though. So this is just going to be a really boring, quiet stream. Let's see. I think that was fourth gear. That was super short. 754. I'm going to watch my gears more closely this race. I need to figure out what gear is super short right there. And then just make them all that way and make sixth gear really long. Actually, that might not work either in my favor. Yeah, it's fourth gear. That's super short. I don't think I should lengthen it, though. I feel like I should shorten everything else. I'm not sure, though. I don't really know what to do with ratios. I don't know enough. Let me put this down to 2.5. And I'll delete that. There we go. And one more, and we're on to the Sonic races. I feel like Sonic could easily send me 150 races and not even bat an eyelash. There, that was a little better. Although my sixth gear, I always feel like it's my sixth gear that's holding me back. My sixth gear is so long. But I'm not willing to change my final drive to make it shorter. Alright, let's I want to do all the Sonic races right in a row. So I'm going to get rid of these first. Alright. And of course I foul. It's 2 a.m. What did you expect? If you expected good racing, you came to the wrong YouTube channel. I fouled. That's great. Ah, boy. I really need to learn to actually make ratios. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just sort of put in numbers. And then I test them. You know what? I'll run it. Just to get the challenge out of the way. I'm not going to back down or decline any challenges during this. And someone's going to keep sending me challenges. I know that. Couldn't remember how I drive Supra. It's been too long since I've actually cared to race this thing. So this is going to be terrible. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to drive this thing right now because I just don't remember how. I'm too used to driving RX-8. I'm okay with this. This is a lot easier for me to run. I need a tutorial on making proper ratios. Right now I just sort of make sure that I make it to the end of the track and then the numbers in the middle don't matter. I foul too often. And rip. I 7533 so often. APK Racing, to download the game, you have to go to the Discord and check the announcement section. The announcement section has the answers to registering an account and downloading the game. All the information's right there. I don't know why I'm refilling my NOS bottle. We're going to go back to 666. That was my lucky ratio. We'll go back entirely to my 503 gears. There we go. There's one more race before the Sonic race. Wow, that's a race. Let's see what happens here. I suck at first gear. My first gear is awful. Yay, I win. Wait, yeah. I guess what I saw was right. I didn't even notice that. It's putting the bracket times sent as 0.000. So whoever sends the challenge loses by default. So 3.75 final will have a higher top speed of 4.1. Speed of 4.1. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. I mean, I understand that, but like the numbers in the middle. Like my first gear and my final drive, I understand that'll determine how hard I launch because it'll be how fast first gear is. But like the numbers in the middle and then sixth gear, I understand I have to make sure that I don't like red line out halfway down the track. So I have to make that so I'm hitting red line basically on the finish line. But the numbers in between, like I just sort of make sure they're even. And I know these aren't, but like that's as good as it's going to get for me. And then my other problem is I'm just terrible at reaction time. I love that I can just click and go. There's so many though. I'm surprised I even have 5 people watching at 2 a.m. my time. Unless you're all in Australia and this is normal for you. Ooh, this one feels good. Except for that reaction time. Every time, man. Can we just have infinite NOS, please, so I don't have to refill? This $1 refill is really dumb. And go. I short shifted every single gear. Man, that's awful. I should have made some tea. 5:08, that's a good time. Right. Let me get this NOS refilled. I'll do 225 again. I don't know. I feel like my 6th gear is too long, but at the same time, I don't want to lower my final drive. Oh. I'll lower it to 6660. And I'll make this 7.5. We're going to start messing with these gears a little bit more seriously. I hit my 503 without touching my final drive. I literally made that final drive before I even took this car seriously. It was just a joke final drive I decided to make. And then it just sort of stuck and I made it work. But I guess I do have to change it eventually. I'm going to be used to that 666 though. That's too slow. But what I'm basically trying to do is figure out where I can make my gears so they're... I want basically everything to be 7K to 9K is what my goal is, which might make my acceleration a little slow, but that's okay. And I know my reaction times suck. You don't need to tell me. Wow. I should have made that change a long time ago. So that worked. Let's see. 2 to make it true. 2 to make it true. Come on. Sonic was telling me I could not hit that 7.4. He hit a 7.500, which, awesome job. Nobody was taking this car seriously before I was running it. Nobody seemed to like it. So, you know, yay me for making something popular. That's never... Oh my god, these shifts. I wasn't looking at the RPM gauge this entire race. That was utterly pointless for me to complete. I just, like, forgot to look where I was shifting. But the shift lights can't be modified right now. So if you buy an aftermarket gauge, you can't modify where the shift light is. So it just gets really confusing and annoying when you're staring at the shift light, you know, 600 RPMs too early. Let me see. I'll try your suggestion for the 5.75 after a few more races, because I did get that 5.1, but I keep short shifting like everything. So I'm getting really terrible 7.5s. If I could just get used to the fact that I need to shift this a little bit slower when I've been running with that final drive for like 3 days. There we go. That's a little better. This might give me a better result. Same result. Because that's how frames work. Just getting to the finish line at that perfect time. Either way, I'm going to get that leaderboard. That's my goal for this. Alright, come on. See, and then when I try to leave, like, on time, I just foul instead. Yeah, I'm 7.55ing or higher. Let's try this again. I should just full rev it and piss everybody off. Because nobody seems to trust full rev in this game. There's a good reaction time. Let's hope it's a good ET. 5.27. Not bad. I finally won a race. Oh, Supra. So it is just... Oh, I didn't even know that was still there. Well, thank you for the donation. But, I'm just using OBS tonight. That's why it's not showing on the screen. I've been having trouble getting Challenge to actually show up correctly in Streamlabs. My bad. Hold on. I got this. I got this. Hold on. It'll show on stream. Hold on. I swear I got this. Hold on. This is going to be really stupid. I'm sorry. There, it showed up on stream. Oh, God. Oh, man. That was so worth it. I mean, if you want that $3 back, I'll send it back. I don't think that was worth your $3. Oh, man. I mean, I did say it would show up on screen. You called me out for it. I made it happen. There you go. Oh, man. I should be asleep. Not that I work tomorrow or anything, but I should be asleep. 755. No matter what I do. How long do those things usually stay up on screen? I'm just going to leave it. You know, if anybody else donates, it's slowly just going to be... It's just going to engulf the screen. That's what we'll do. We'll just make it bigger and bigger. If anybody else donates, it'll just be a line below it, and it'll just start taking up more and more of the screen to the point that this entire stream, all you see is text on a white background about people donating. I think that would be hilarious. And entirely worth doing. Because I'm just a smart-ass individual that gets things done in ways that are not usually meant to be done. God, these short shifts, man. Don't race at night. I'm just going to lose all of these. This was a terrible idea. But I started it, and I can't stop now. I have to do 118 more races. I feel like I haven't even made a dent. Oh, man. Oh, I staged too far forward. I should probably try different rev points, too. Ooh, this one might be fine. I think I bounced it off the rev limiter a little bit, but... Nah, 755. I'm really getting used to that number. It's just because I can't drive the damn car. My channel's more about satire and, like, destroying things, not actually trying to be good at the game. I don't know if anybody's actually watched my other videos. They're all about hacking and modding. And then here's me trying to be serious about a game for once and failing miserably. Legends we haven't even started yet. We do have plans on trying to start it, maybe. But it's going to be far different from how we do Challenge, and that's kind of the... I'm making a pun. That's kind of the challenge of making Legends. I'm a dad now. I'm allowed to say those jokes. I kind of figured by your channel name, APK Racing. I'm trying to get back into this swing of things with like the first-person shooter games I used to mod, though. And like finish creating the first-person shooter that I made nearly 9 years ago. Alright, I'm sick of this 6th gear. We'll try 577. I probably should have refilled NOS while I was there. I feel like somebody's sending me races still. I'm never going to know when this number ends. Come on. Don't suck too bad. Okay, so now I need to... We're just going to go for broke. I'm going to test that final drive before doing any more edits to see what it does to my ETs. So that final drive is the only thing I'm going to edit. I used to do a lot more with hacking and modding and all that, but like, IL to CPP is boring, so I don't really mod anything anymore. I want to get back into like DLL modding and stuff like that, and modding the old classic Unity games that way. Alright. Not suspension, you doofus. and then this I can probably make 755. Let's try that. I'm destroying my ratios. Good thing they're on the forum anyway. Let's get it going. Come on. I thought that said 0.5. I was like, oh, yeah. And then I looked over. It said 0.6. And I went, oh, no. Come on. I'm going to try that 575. We'll do 755. But I feel like I need to raise my first gear at that point. I wanted these to be fair races, and here I am just destroying my ratios. But, you know, this could be a good thing, too, because if I accidentally leaderboard while testing new ratios, then I'm really well set off. Let's try this. I like it. I like it. A little too fast. Which sounds weird to say that they're too fast. But that just means I need to raise this. I can make these 777 ratios. I really want to see it be mobile, and I have ideas on how to make it mobile, but it's the fact that the screen resolution of the game doesn't match up to anything that's currently available cell phone wise. Cell phone screens are just too small. This would work on a tablet, no problem. But playing it on a phone would be abysmal. It would just be too small of a screen. Alright, let me try getting used to these ratios, because these feel pretty good. If anybody else donates, let me know in the comments, because Streamlabs is not enabled. I know there's a way to do it through OBS, but I don't have the time to set it up right now, because obviously I'm already mid-stream. Huh. You know, if I was actually good at the game, that would have been a lot better of a race. I'm not going to touch my ratios for about 10 to 15 races. I have a ratio calculator from the Nidal Legends days. I think it's on my Google Drive. Let me see if it's still here. My beast mode stuff is. That's Combat Arms, though. Nidal Legends Automated. Wow, that's really old. I do not see my old gear ratio calculator. Let me try my other Google Drive account. Gear ratio calculator. I still have it. I wonder if this would work on Challenge. Here, let me allow you guys to see the screen. Do another window capture because I have that silly thing still up on the screen. Because it's going to stay there. Huh. It does not like window capture for some reason. So we'll just do display capture. Display capture it doesn't like. I really, really hate OBS. Yeah, no matter what I do, it cannot... I cannot show my Google Chrome. Yeah, so that's not going to work. But input end of race mile per hour. Let's do that. End of race RPM. Where does this thing redline? 9,000. So we'll say 9,100. Current input final gear ratio, we'll say 5.999 is what I want. max HP of this car. I just remembered you can't just leave this. 916. Now this might not work because this is the old Nitto Legends ratio calculator. Max torque is what? 595. And max, put max RPM 9,000. And then minimum RPM. So the minimum that I want to go, I guess, let's do 6,800. Input first gear. Vehicle weight, I have no idea. $3,053. Vehicle redline, 9,000. So there's a lot of different ratios here. I'll try all of them. So let's try these, because it'll be fun. Let me check you guys out real quick, because I can't see the chat right now. Yeah, I know. I always lose. So let me see what these ratios do here. The game's going to be really small for a second because I got to minimize it for seeing the gear ratio calculator. Give me 1 second. So we're going to do 3.212, 2.507, 1.957. Wow, these are kind of weird. 1.528. I don't think these are going to work. 1.192. 0.931. 5.950. I do not trust these to work at all. I'm just going to do it, because I got 108 races to go. And I might as well not beat around the bush. This is going to be... Oh, you know if I run a 5 second, it's going to be on purpose. People should know me better than that. So... yeah, these are way too fast. It doesn't take NOS into account, I think is what it is. That didn't work. Let me try something with that gear ratio calculator. Let me see. Input minimum RPM. Let me do like 4,000. That changed the numbers a lot. That changed them to a point of those definitely will not work. So we'll do a minimum of 6,000. Those might work. Those might work. They're actually really close to similar with the ones I have. But let me try, like, oop. Let's just do one race this way. Just remembered this needed NOS. Sonic thought he was getting fair races. Ha! No, he's just getting me goofing around like an idiot. But, you know, this is how I race. It's fine. We're just going to do this. Yeah, that was interesting. I'm not going to get a good ET at all. Actually, that wasn't as bad as I was expecting. Hold on, let's mess with this just a little bit. 4.555, right down the middle. Oops. This might be interesting. Let's see what happens. I'm going to be using full revving for testing, but then I'll actually start finding good launch points once these actually work. That's pretty good. That might work. Just, let's try that. Let's try it out here. I know people get mad at full revvers. I'm just doing it for testing, I promise. These are really quick on that inside there. Huh. 555, there it is. Oops, wrong button. Try 895. Just to get the mile per hour right here. Probably not. They used to consider, there was a tool for Nitto 1320 Challenge called, Space Gas. And they considered that a cheat back in the day. So I can't imagine that, I don't know. They considered Space Gas a cheat device. And I know you can still find that tool, but like, I could see how we probably could too, because that just enables easy botting. Especially since we don't have trans brake and all that, like it makes launching incredibly difficult anyway with using spacebar for gas, for example, because, you know, keyboards don't have pressure sensitive buttons, for example. So it would be really hard to rev that way unless we added a trans brake. And even then, I don't think, at the moment at least, we don't want to modify challenge that much. We're trying to keep it as original as possible, basically. I shifted terribly. But that wasn't bad. I just can't shift. Let me try these one more race here. I have that stupid Halloween song stuck in my head. Spooky, scary skeletons. All the time. Just randomly pops up. I just want a 7533 with full rev. That's all I want. 7533 with full rev. Let me try the new ratios this silly calculator made. Alright, let's try these. .222, which is very close to my old ones. 1.537. Again, pretty close to my original ratios. 1.063. Really close. You just have to know how the car works, I guess. 0.735. That doesn't sound like it's going to be good. And then 508. And it was a 5.95. We'll try these here. Do I need NOS? I do. My friend Garrett has messaged me. I don't have my phone, so I can't check it. You guys can't see the Facebook screen, right? There we go. Let me close Facebook because that blinking was bothering me. There we go. Alright, let's try these. 101 races left. Let's see. I'm going to full rev the first one just for like easy launch purposes. Not terrible. Although I feel like the ratios are a little bit long. Definitely a little bit long. Like, I could bump this. Probably not that much, but we're going to say that much. I'm at 100 races to go because I keep screwing around and making this last longer. This might work. Well, no, not with that. Not with that ending there. It's not gonna. Oops, I wanted this. And then here. What's the highest you can go? 6.999? I think that's the highest gear ratio, right? It was me that put that into a rule. I can't even remember my own freaking rule. Oh, boy. So these first 3 shifts are fine, I feel like. It's when you get to about here that maybe... we'll do that. I feel like these ratios might be alright. Although the launch is pretty much... I'm going to have to find a better rev point at this point. These are 5 gear now. I really need to modify these. But I'm trying to get the launch and everything right at least first. I'm slowly just getting back to my original ratios. We'll just do my original launch. That's a lot faster. That was a lot better, actually. Doing an actual normal launch, that was a lot better. Just do that. Oops. No. Damn it, Sonic. You sent so many races. I'm not willing to go to bed until they're complete. Try a lower rev. We'll try like 3K. This is where I launch SRT, or not SRT, Supra. Alright, let's... a little more. We'll just do 666 again. I feel like that's a fair 6th gear no matter what your ratios on this car. We'll do 4th gear launch. Or 4,000 RPM. That 2nd gear is real quick. 666 is too low. We'll do 646. Get me NOS. Get me oil just in case. I don't think it actually matters which oil you get, but we're just going to say it does. Oh. Well, there goes this race. Because I broke it. Wow, I actually felt a lot faster. 7568, that's not bad. I'm getting closer. We'll do 3.3. Let's see. Okay, that's fine. Well, I'm here. I'll just fill it. There we go. Man, I hated that 20-second crap. If I ever do actually remake Legends, or at least help with it, because the coding for it's going to be above my knowledge level, I'll have the minimum ET to like 16 or 17.5 or something. No 20 goddamn second cars. My god, that was an awful time. Do you remember Legends before they even had that? There was a time in Legends where they had no cutoff ET and people were running like... Oh. People were running, no joke, silly times like 25. It was at the very early days of Legends. The only way I would allow a 20-second car is by filtering it and checking the car ID. So, like, if you had a box, for example, there would be special code that allows that to run stock. But if you have a Honda Civic, the lowest it'll go is like that 17.5 or something like that. So I feel like my rev needs to change on this car. Let me try not revving it at all. We'll do like the 1000 rev. Okay, so it has to rev a little bit at least. Or it's painfully slow. Oh my god. Yeah, this car needs a little rev at least. No matter what you do. Let's, I need to look at the dyno graph and figure out the proper spot to launch it from. What just happened? I, like, glitched it. That was awful. Let me dyno it real quick, because I don't actually know where to rev. That was usually my fault. Actually, almost always my fault. So yeah, I want to rev like 5,500. Yeah, that's where I'm going to rev is 5,500. But yeah, making those boxes and stuff like that, those were all my fault. I was the one that figured out how to do that before even having the hacks. I actually had a swap glitch that worked that way. But it was actually just due to admins not knowing how to properly code. Yeah, 5,000 is where you want to rev this car for sure. I just suck. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish 88 more races. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Damn it, Sonic. I love the 5-second boxes. The fastest ones I ever made, I got the... There was one car in Legends that had the 350 shot NOS bottles. Or something like that. Or like 375. I don't remember what car it was. But there was one car with an over 300 shot NOS fogger. And those nitrous fogger systems in there, that thing flew. It was so much fun. Sad face. Oh my god, you haven't been around in forever. I think the cardboard dragster was my favorite car. I had over 400 of them. I just kept buying them and buying them on the UCL. I so miss UCL days. Trying to guess passwords when people were selling their cars. I think I finally made some good-ish ratios. Now, I say that, and I'm gonna regret it. We're gonna do 637. Can I do a 7? 7 does save. Okay. So we're going to put it on max final drive, because I think the maximum final drive is 7. Although it's supposed to be 10. On on Legends, it was 10 was the max final drive you could have. Fifth gear is too long, I feel like. I'm going to change fifth gear up. We'll do 899, I think. Just for testing. Oh yeah, doing that was so much fun. I'm trying to buy a house, sad face. I'm going through that hell in a handbasket. I think my favorite car to always run in Legends was actually the Ferrari and the what's the other car? I can't remember. Oh, Ferrari and 2007 Scion TC were my favorite cars to run. And then, of course, like TFD boxes with NOS. I actually swapped a Beast motor into a TFD box once. The entire engine swap. I had to hand code it. It was the most awful thing on the planet to have to do. It took me like 2.5, 3 hours just to code it to swap right. Because of testing it and then it failing and then just like parts missing that were actually required to make the right horsepower. It was a little on the ridiculous side getting that to work. There we go. Those were good shifts, I think. 6-7, not bad. Now if I could not foul. Yeah, the one thing with the UCL on Legends is they didn't really have a security check. Like, the security check was terrible. Most people, I feel like they should have moved the button. So, like, the OK button was always the OK button. That was the problem with Legends. That's why people would sometimes accidentally post cars for free or really low prices. I feel like the OK button should have been moved on the screen that is checking for if the car you're posting is, that's the for sure price. You want to price it, basically. They should have had a movement of the OK button. Because it was in the same place. And if you had an accidental double click on your mouse, let's say, you know, like me, I was playing Legends a lot with a broken mouse. That would have helped evade a lot of accidentally posted cars. Oh, I remember that stuff. The UCL with LE parts. And then, of course, I had my ability to buy LE parts. So that was fun. I ended up finding ways to buy them from the showroom. My favorite thing ever was the Ichiban Toyota Super parts. I have a screenshot of those parts somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Itchy Delete Me and Itchy Delete Me 2. The only picture I have is the Itchy Delete Me. But that was the, that was the turbo. Oh, give me the previews, you silly thing. Alright, that's going to take a second to load. I did a C-cleaner. Whoop! I C-cleanered my entire computer and got rid of all the icons and crap I had saved. I'm going to find that picture. Itchy Delete Me Turbo on the Supra. That was a fun part. That was not supposed to be purchased in the game either. Also the Aruji parts for the WD-40 Challenger. That was a fun car to race. WD-40 Camaro was like my third or fourth favorite car in Legends. The reason Nitto Legends shut down was because CIE Studios, or C Games as they were called at the time because it was an offshoot of C Studios, basically they were already working on Racing Rivals, the mobile game. In 2013 is when I believe they started on it. And that was already basically the death of Legends because CIE kind of lived on a pattern. So if you really paid attention to CIE's or C. I never knew if it was CIE and you spell it out or just C. But if basically, long story short, their games always had a limited lifespan. So Challenge only lasted a couple years. 555R literally lasted 3 years. And then Legends lasted like 6 or 7 years. Racing Rivals was in development in 2013, end of 2012. They started making that game, and that was just when the end was coming for racing or for Nitto Legends. And then they closed Legends in 2014 in favor of Racing Rivals, and that was just, nobody was happy about it, I'll tell you that. So Racing Rivals basically took its place. It was supposed to be the successor, and it really wasn't what it lived up to be. And then Glue Mobile bought out CIE because they were basically going under on the gaming division side, and they had no interest in running any PC games at Glue Mobile because they're a mobile company. Drag Central came out at the end of Challenge, and then there was also Street Challenge, and that game was awful too. Legends we haven't started yet. We want to finish Challenge first. Challenge is almost done. There's only like 2 or 3 things that are major left to do. That's why I never put money into it unless I was testing glitches. They really wouldn't ban you if you spent money. And I had accounts saved by that. So if you put in more than like 20 bucks, they honestly didn't ban you unless you did something really stupid. Like a lot of my hacking craze days, they actually let me keep the bugged money. But that was because they knew I was just going to collect cars and not spend it on the UCL. So it was going back to the system anyway. I do want Legends to come back, but my rule with Legends is definitely going to be something I put my foot down on. A lot of people in the Challenge community have really kind of ruined Challenge. For, at least in a sense for me, which is kind of why I've stepped back a little bit from its development. I'm not helping on the code side for multiple reasons. One, it's just too advanced for me. I can't keep up with it anymore. Liquid is a god. But for 2, also, it's really complicated code, but it's not what I wanted it to be. I just wanted it to be like an open source project where a bunch of friends have fun running it, playing it. If we wanted to add new cars, we added new cars. If we wanted to add new features like custom wraps, we added new features. Too many people have joined this community and ruined that for everybody because, hey, I finally won a race. Too many people have joined this community and been like, no, we want standard challenge. And even any of the development guys that we've had, that's all they want. They have no intentions of wanting to add new features. Even if it's something as small as on-screen buttons for shifting for touchscreen support, nobody wants to add that except me. Like, I want to innovate the game. I want to add new features. I want to get it working for everybody and bring it up with the times, even redo the graphics, make it look better. But everybody just yells at me anytime I suggest a new feature idea. I even found a way to add an air fuel controller, just like Legends had in this game, about 8 months ago. And it was working. It worked phenomenally. Cars ran a little bit faster, of course, but I mean, that was kind of the point. But everybody just wants standard stock challenge, which I don't blame them for that. It's what they grew up with. But it's just really annoying when people scream from the rooftops and act like the entire community is just their say when there were plenty of people that wanted the opposite. Like, it was literally a handful of people at first, only a small handful, that didn't want the McLaren in the game, but then they just slowly started to convince everybody else, nobody wants the McLaren, so the McLaren was removed, which every admin originally agreed that we had a say on one custom car each. My custom car was the McLaren. Of course, I don't get that say. Suddenly there's no McLaren in this game. Kennard was really easy. His favorite car was the RSX, so that stayed in the game. Obviously, we weren't going to remove any cars from this game. Captain Spock, I can't remember his car. The King had a car he wanted added, but it was, I don't think, ever added. But I had the McLaren that was already added. It was all ready to go. You just had to copy and paste it into the game. Nobody would let me do it. Who cares? It's one custom goddamn car. Like, it's not going to kill you. If you don't want to race it, don't race it. I could go on for hours with rants like that. Like, I got custom graphics working. It was something I was really proud of. I could make a custom graphic wrap for any car work anytime. And suddenly, oh, no, nobody wants that. There's like 19 people in the voice chat that are speaking for 299 people that are on the Discord and all the players in the game. No, they don't want that, so we're not going to add it. Like, what the hell is that, you know? It's not hard to, you know, post up a poll and ask an entire community, hey, do you want to try to add this new feature? And then if you get a bunch of no's and it's more than 50% of the people say no, you know, whatever. It was a good thing you left the Discord. It got bad in there, sad face. I don't know if you've actually watched the video about the all the crap that went down with the King. But he's gone, obviously. All that was just, it was god awful. And then, actually, I'm not even admin on my own Discord anymore. But I'll save that for another time. There's a lot of reason behind that I'm not going to speak about. Like, the Discord wasn't even made for just the game. The Discord was made for my YouTube channel, and it got taken away from me. I said I was stepping back for a little while I was buying my house and stuff like that. I was just going to play the game but not make any of the major decisions. Since I said that, they took away my admin completely. They've removed all the VIP sections on the Discord, so now it's pretty much pointless to be VIP. There is no VIP car in the game. There's no McLaren that was promised to people, and I actually have one person requesting a refund on their donation because the McLaren's not in the game. I don't have that money. The money was all spent towards the King's build, but since he scammed us out of the money, I don't have a way to get it back, and PayPal's not working with me on this. And it was a kind of large sum that they donated. That user, I'm not going to say names, but suddenly they're a moderator in the game right now. Like, there was just so much hectic BS that went on. It's not even fair to the rest of the community. Like, VIP is utterly pointless now. Granted, I get it. We're not using any of the stuff that was paid for and all that with the VIP money. But it's not my fault we were scammed out of it by some lying scumbag. Like, at the end of it with the King especially, there was a lot going on where, you know, we had never spoken with a developer. And if we spoke up, like, hey, this developer is definitely scamming us out of the money. Like, obviously we know the game well enough to know it shouldn't take 6 months to code the game to work with the AI cars if you actually know what you're doing. But you got somebody charging us like $50 an hour. Obviously, they should know what they're doing, and it should be a little bit faster than 6 months worth of time for this kind of crap. Like, it's a classic basic Flash game. How hard could it be? And then when we got the code for the AI, it was a simple random number generator. That's all it was for the AI's race time. It wasn't anything close to worth what we paid. And then the king just runs off with the files and we never hear from him again. Yeah, Liquid's the developer now. Liquid Ace is the name of the guy who's the dev now. He's actually the owner of the company Appify, I believe, and Liquid Web. Liquid Web, I think for 100% fact. I think I'm right about Appify, but I'm not 100% on that. So, like, he's not even taking payment for the development he's done because it'll actually hurt him in the long run when it comes to taxes due to his company. So it's just not worth it for him to take payment. And then yeah, there's just been so much that's gone on. It's like I'm starting a new community with other people right now, and that other community is already more friendly than this one is. More friendly and less hectic and more open to community additions to a game that I'm working on with somebody else. Not to say that like I hate the people I work with on 1320 Challenge, because I do consider them friends still. But none of the original ideals that we agreed upon are even near reality right now. The only original member left is Kennard, and he's barely talks or says anything in our admin area of the Discord. He doesn't say much almost ever. He's kind of stepped back from it entirely and doesn't really participate much except racing. Luckily, I have a lot of friends that do like home repairs and stuff like that, so I don't actually have to worry about hiring a stranger. I can just call my friends out and be like, hey, I'm going to try fixing this today. You want to go to Home Depot with me and tell me what to buy and teach me how to do it? And they'll do it because I have awesome friends in real life. It's just the internet is full of scummy people, and a lot of them talk louder than the ones who actually speak truth, let's say. I cannot get these ratios right. Why is it not shifting? Hell, there's one person that's a mod right now that I swore would never be a moderator, because I remember there being some racist remarks coming out of his mouth towards somebody during the embedded beta. Guess what? They're a moderator. But yeah, the new game that I'm working on is a project from nearly 9 years ago that I started. It's called TPS. It's a first-person shooter for PC that's full 3D and everything. It's based on a game engine from 1999, but if you want to know what the game's gonna look like, look up videos of Combat Arms. The game engine still holds up as long as you don't like try to emulate trees and stuff like that from real life. I'm gonna put my original ratios back. These just aren't... Well, no, I'm not. I don't want to mess with these too much. I'm going to trust these for a little bit longer. Yeah. Well, I had transferred owner permissions because I was going to log out for a little while. And then I noticed after I logged out, I logged in the next day because somebody messaged me on Facebook and was like, hey, there's a lot of changes going on. Were you okay with this? And I logged on and I went, whoa, what's going on? Raised a fuss behind closed doors and went, okay. And then because of me raising a fuss and transferring ownership like an idiot because I didn't know, suddenly my admin permissions were completely revoked. And, you know, now I'm a normal user on my own Discord. Now, granted, I was going to step back anyway until we started Legends, probably, because at this point, Challenge isn't going to be what I wanted, no matter what I do or say. I just don't really care what it turns into at this point. The project could just end tomorrow, and I'm not... Honestly, that's whatever to me. But at the same time, I like the guys I'm still working with. It's just... Here I am, like... I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to feel about Challenge because it's not where I was hoping it would be. When it comes to Legends, though, I'm going to put my foot down and be like, I'm being a part of this because I'm the only person that really understands this shit that's left. Nobody that I know knows Legends as well as I do. I was actually able to get some of Legends working by myself. And, like, I had login, I had account creation, I had showroom and paint shop all working by myself with no help. And it was all client side, too, so it was set up like single player, which is something that I always kind of wanted. But now we have a way to do a multiplayer server. But the thing with Legends that I'm going to put my foot down about is... It's going to be just a completely open game. We're allowed to do whatever we want to it. We're not going to care if somebody says they don't want this update. The update's going to happen. Whether there's 94 people that vote and say, hey, we don't want this. Well, tough titties, this is our game. We don't see you developing it. Guess what? We're making this change because we feel like it's better in the long run. Or like if we add a car and nobody likes it, that's too bad. That's just too bad. Just don't race it. We added it because we wanted to. If we add a custom wrap and people don't like the certain car wrap, tough titties. If we make the weather changing tracks permanent, tough titties. If that's going to be on all tracks. Because it probably should be to cut down on the quad times for bracket. It'll just not be as drastic of changes every race like it was in Legends. It'll be really small changes, but like day to day, we'll do something maybe like region temperature or something like that, where it follows the temperature of a specific location by day. I think that would be really cool. So set it as like Dallas, Texas for a day. And the racetracks follow the temperature of that specific day, real life, in Dallas, Texas. Set it as LA for a day. Set it as Cleveland, Ohio for a day. Set it as Alaska for a day. And find a way to emulate snow. That'd be hilarious. One other thing that I'd always like to see work would be half-mile racing. My ultimate goal, honestly, is really... I don't want to work on Legends. I don't want to work on Challenge. I want a custom game. I want a fully custom game that has every feature under the sun from all the greatest racing games packed into one. Nobody's made a game with a parts list like Nitto Legends since Nitto Legends. That's what made Legends Legends, was that high-end customization. Nobody's made anything like that since. And that's one thing that I want in a game when it comes to making something of my own later on. But then on top of that, I want to do like the body kits that like Pro Street and Underground 2 had, where you could auto sculpt them and have like the grills be whatever size you want. Work on getting the tuning aspect from like Forza, where you can do the camber, the caster, the tire pressure, ride height, pretty much the whole 9 yards of that stuff from Forza. I have the drag racing style of Need for Speed Pro Street, where you have burnouts in multiple different distances. And then I have a car list that actually makes sense for drag racing. No Ferraris, no Ferraris, no weird cars, unless it's like that one-off that maybe we'll do, like really rare cars where it's like, okay, somebody built this into a drag car and it's kind of cool, but we'll make it a rarity. So like if you bought like, I don't know, like one of those Suzuki Jeeps or something and put an LS1 in it, that would be one of those like one-off rare cars that we have in the game as like a trophy car. You know, no trophy cars of, I don't know, no trophy cars of like an SLR McLaren with a gigantic Christmas bow on the front. That's really stupid. I want cars that make sense, not cars that are stupid, I guess. I wonder what this run's going to be. Those shifts look pretty good. 549. I'm not getting anywhere. Unfortunately, there's no game out there like Nitto Legends, so probably why I speak about wanting to see it back. Yeah, I want to see it back. That would be crazy. Yeah, the customization of SLRR. I like SLRR, but it's like, I feel like it's too much. Like, I still want the arcade feel, but I want the thousands of parts that Legends had. I guess that's kind of contradicting the arcadey feel, but at the same time, it is what made Legends Legends. I hate the cookie cutter drag racing game style that today has brought. You know? Every single game that you see out right now has these multiple stages of parts. You can do stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5 part, and come out with the same result as everybody else. Whereas if you have, you know, a couple hundred parts per car, you could potentially have some people that keep their mouths shut, have their own setup that makes the car 5 more horsepower, but that's enough that they have an edge versus whatever the public setups might be. That was the thing with Nitto Legends with the 07 TC. There was a 912 HP with the 42 PSI turbocharger, but nobody really used it once the Beast PSI turbocharger was known. But the Beast turbocharger was in the game for a good 3 or 4 months before it was publicly known, hey, this thing is faster because it's lighter. That's why I want so many parts in a game. It's easier to keep setups private that way. I'm too tired to stage properly. I'm like falling asleep while I'm sitting here thinking. Come on. I am so bad at this game. Give me back my Legends. The one thing I will say that I hated about Legends, though, is that stupid traction control. That really killed the game. There was no way to rev in Legends. At least in this game, it makes sense the way that revving works. Granted, you can't full rev. It doesn't make you faster. Like, if I full rev right now, I'm not going to be faster because of it. Like, see, I'm slower because I full revved. But I have to find that specific little bite point that actually makes sense to rev, you know? Like, let me try 4,000-ish. I'm too slow. Yeah, see, like, 4,000 doesn't make sense on this car. But if I rev 5,000, I have the potential to hit a 753. But since I suck at this game, I don't have a potential of hitting a 753. I just 0.5 this man. I better win this race just to rub it in his face. Damn it. I'm just not going to win a race. My reign is over. Street tuning evolution. What's that? This is new. I don't know what this is. It looks cool, although the graphics look very... The 3D of it is not the greatest. Huh. This is very early. Strip the entire interior, join the underground racing community, repair your car, become a car trader, explore the workshop. This sounds like what we've been talking about. Why would you run this game on Windows XP? The minimum requirements say you can run it on Windows XP, but the recommended is Windows 10 with a quad core, with a GTX 1050 or an RX 560. Oh, hey, I got the RX 560. I have 2 of those. 5 gigs of space needed for this game. That's ridiculous. That's a little much. I don't know. It sounds like too much. Like, I'm looking at the trailer video, and it's just like... I don't know. Personally, that's too much for me. I would never play that. It's not something I'd be interested in. Let's see if this makes sense. I don't want to sit and modify my car for 4 hours, you know, pulling off every part by hand. I just want to install and uninstall. I don't want timers and that I have to pay to speed up. I just want to click install, click uninstall, swap these parts, things like that. Oh man, I need to go to bed. I'm so tired. I don't want to just like stop this though, but at the same time, I probably should, because I do have stuff to do tomorrow that I kind of have to be awake for. I'm at 35 races left. That gives you guys a head start. I'll do one more so it's 35. Gives you guys a head start. Send me up to 150 races. Get me at 150 or more, and I'll try to run those tomorrow. I did finish like 120 some races or something like that, so... Yeah, I need work. That was his world record run, actually, where I ended. I should have left that up on the screen longer. Damn. That was a 7500. What a way to end it. Race his record time. Yeah, for now, I think I'm done. I need to go to bed. I've been streaming for an hour and a half from 1 o'clock till now. For me, it's 3:15 in the morning. It's time to go to sleep. Thank you guys for sticking around. Awesome to see you back, sad face. It'll be awesome to see you around. Maybe you can check out the first-person shooter instead that I'm working on. That's going to be fun. But, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll talk to you guys maybe tomorrow or something like that. Who knows? I'll probably make a video of some kind for tomorrow. But, peace out. Thanks for hanging out.